Gary Johnson then, pre-Barrow at home.
Oh, right.
Gary, obviously, sort of performances, the consistency at the moment, not quite there as you might like. How fine are the margins?
I think we're seeing they're very fine, aren't we? I thought that again at the level that we're playing at, you're going to have 10 teams that you've got to be ready for, probably more. But I mean, there's going to be 10 games where they at least they're going to be very, very similar teams, similar quality, similar tactics, similar experience, and we have to realise that and know that a team's going to be at its fittest, as Chester proved to us, in the first half an hour, and then so you've got to be ready, even though you've had a long coach journey, and you try and revive them in the warm up. We was a bit slovenly in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But I did feel the game was pretty even throughout. So it's the games that you think might be pretty even that you've got to make sure that you do that extra special thing, of whether it be extra work rate, extra bit of quality, extra cleverness with set plays, whatever it is, to go and actually win the game. Because although we haven't lost, we've only won one. So that's why you're probably saying, it's a little bit inconsistent. But we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a new group. A lot of the group has not played in this league before, so it's a learning curve for them. But I'm pretty happy. I mean, if Saturday becomes important again, like the Southport game was, this becomes important because 15. If we get the points, the 3 points, then of course you're nearly up to your 2 points a game.
And you proved the last home game against Southport that you can play at home and perform at home. So I suppose you've got the confidence to go and do that again.
Yes, I'm sure the boys they've certainly got the ability to go and do that again. Sometimes the confidence comes with what happens at the start, and who's feeling right, who's not feeling right. And funny enough, we talked about in my Cambridge days when we used to throw cold buckets of water over players before a game after a long journey, and the players won't like me mentioning it, but I may start that again if we start slovenly again away from home. But and we did it so well at Cambridge that we started doing it at home as well, so there was no respite from it. So all these people that thought the ice bucket challenge was new, I was doing it with John Beck at Cambridge 15 years ago.
And because of your experience of things like that, I suppose you've got all those sort of tricks in the locker, up your sleeve, however you want to describe them. I suppose you can just keep the players on their toes very easily, can't you?
Yeah, you've got to keep the players on their toes. You've got to do different things every now and again to keep their minds active and to keep them guessing. And you might have to change a day off, not give them a day off, give them 2 days off. Just to keep them guessing really, and keep them thinking. But because we do our reviews after every game, that gets them to see their performance. And so if I've said at half time or at the end of the game you've played well, they can see that I'm telling the truth from what I've seen. But also if they haven't affected the game, then they can also see that, and we'll highlight that and show them. And sometimes they get a little bit embarrassed by their own performance. So if they're embarrassed, hopefully next time they won't want to be embarrassed again. So they put that little bit more effort in. But we have got a super group for that. It's been the best class I've ever had, and as far as a classroom is concerned. And so I've got no problems with them picking up and improving where they need to.
Do you know which way you'll go yet in terms of your selection, or how much do you pay attention to the next couple of days' training?
I pay attention to the training. I'm a little bit about continuity. I think that's important. But we've got sort of 12 players that have been sort of playing regular now, if you include Asa to the 11 that have been starting. So I've got a little bit of manoeuvrability there if I need it. But we'll see. I've not picked the team yet in my head. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. But what I know is whatever team I pick, they'll give it a right go, and hopefully we can get another Southport type performance.
Looking at Barrow, they obviously got a bit of a tonking at Forest Green last week, but recovered well at home to Guiseley midweek. So, you can see that they've still got some of their promotion form perhaps with them.
Yeah, they'll be on a bit of a roll, won't they, for having promotion? Did they had a couple sent off at Forest Green? So you have to look at the circumstances sometimes of these games, and then you take each game as it comes, as everybody says, and that's true. And we'll do our homework religiously on Barrow as much as we will anybody else. But we are at home. They've got the long travel this time, so whether they throw buckets of cold water over each other, we'll have to wait and see how they start. But anyway, we've got to be ready, and our supporters deserve a good home game coming up. I'd have been gutted if it had been another long away trip, because, listen, let's mention that M6, because that was a nightmare. I don't know if you boys got caught in it, and the supporters would definitely have got caught in it. But the roadworks at 12 o'clock at night, do you know what I mean? Why don't they all go home? Go home to bed, see your wives and kids. So don't work the roads at 12 o'clock at night. What is it going on? Anyway, that's my little rant over, because we was like 2 hours in that flipping traffic on that M6. And so the supporters, who probably some would have been in that, hopefully they're pleased they're back home safely and can watch their team perform at home.
Is James Rowe in full training yet?
Yeah, he'll be in full training today. So he's been signed off, as it were, from the physio. They hadn't quite signed him off up until the last game. So he's another one that is an option for us.
Everyone else okay?
Yeah, there's a couple of bruised toes, a couple of bruised egos. Physio can't really do anything about. But no, we're okay. And Chester are going to be there or thereabouts. So sometimes you have to give credit to the opposition. I thought it was a really tough game, a good game of football, and both teams were trying to win it. And I think every game so far, probably other than the Southport game where they had men behind the ball, but teams like Lincoln and Chester, they're going to try and win every game they play in, same as us.
Are you any closer on the chase for a centre half in on loan?
I think so. But I've been saying that for 6 weeks now, so I'm going to leave it like that just for a minute. And if it comes quickly, it'll be a nice surprise, because I still feel that's the only area that we need strengthening in, because you've got Pars can go right back. Jack Bartram can play left back because he's ambidextrous. He's right and left footed anyway. He's probably right and left handed as well. So he can go over there if we brought in if a centre half had to come in. If we lost a right back or left back, we got cover now. If we bring in this centre half, so that's the position we need. Be surprised.
Finally, Zach Kotvica seemed to have a good game for Siren during the week. How much attention do you pay to the players who are out on loan at the moment, of just how they're progressing?
Who's that, mate?
Zach Kotvica.
Are you sure that's the way to say it?
That's how I've been saying it anyway.
He's done great, hasn't he? That's why we want these players loaned out, because they get that confidence, they get that feeling that they come in to train with us still, and they play the game on Saturday rather than not play the game on Saturday. And I might have to do that with a couple more pretty soon. So we're pleased with all the lads that have gone out on loan, because they're all affecting their games at that level, and that's what they've got to do, and that gives them that sort of confidence. So when we feel it's time to call them back, we'll do that.